kuwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kukulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Farm Kenya.
Well, hello there. This is Farm Kenya show right here on KTN. And you're wondering where I am. We are in a coffee farm, and if you remember, last week we looked at the process of coffee, how you plant it, how you prepare your land, and finally what it takes for you to harvest it. And today we'll be looking at the process, the next process after harvest. We are at Fairview Estate. It's a coffee estate that we'll be looking at the process of coffee, from the cherry, how it's sourced, where the bad cherries go and where the good ones go. We'll also be looking at the washing process. That is very, very important. And we'll be meeting with Liz Mutisia, who is the tourism manager right here. So join us even as we make this particular journey. Hi Liz.
Hi, Nyakundi.
How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you. Welcome to Fairview Coffee Estate.
Thank you so much for having us. And I've seen you have a farm. I wish you would have known. We would have come here earlier. Yes. All right. So this is Liz. We are going to just go so that you show us what you usually do, right? Okay. Let's go.
Now we go.
This huge place, what usually happens here? I think, let me hope that is where we are going to look at what really is going on in this particular place. So,
Yeah.
I can see two spaces here.
Yeah.
So you can just give us a little bit about exactly what is going on here.
So this is our coffee factory, and this is where now coffee is put after the sorting. So they come, they sort strictly, because they're paid after sorting and because of quality again. So it comes here and it's introduced here. This is called a cherry hopper.
Okay.
So the cherry hopper, it's what holds the coffee to go through the pulping machine down there. And now the pulping machine is the one to remove the outer skin.
Okay.
Yes.
So before you even go to the pulping machine, a couple of things. I've seen the cherries, after harvesting, you've said they sort them.
Yep.
So what type of coffee cherry that usually comes here? Do we have all the cherry that has been harvested here, or these are the ones now that are good for processing?
So what happens, we have two picking seasons here at Fairview Coffee Estate, and I think Kiambu region mostly does the two picking seasons. We have April, May and June, October, November, December. So what happens is, like every harvest, all the cherries that have been harvested, they have to go through here.
Okay.
Because they have to be washed and to go through pulping, unless it is the natural process. And the natural process is whereby coffee is taken from the estate, from the trees, direct to the coffee beds, what we call locally buni. But we have now the natural process for the premiums, like you pick everything and then you dry it direct. So this is now the coffee that will come to the factory, and it's sorted. It's introduced now here for the pulping.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why this structure? Why is it built like this? Because, you know, someone would say, okay, you can use any other structure, but why is it really built this way?
Because it's a hopper, there's a hole down there which is connected to the shaker machine. So it just holds the cherries like this, and then the cherries will go through it, through the hole, and now to the shaker machine.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so
for washing.
For washing, right?
Sorry, yeah.
Okay, so anything or precautions that you usually follow, especially when the cherry comes here? You can give us a little bit about that, and also what materials have been used to build this, and if an organization or someone would want to form something like this, a farmer, what would they go for, or what materials are used here?
For pulping and for the cherry hopper, this is just a normal concrete. Yeah, the normal, it's cement, water, sand, just the normal thing. And the reason it has to be like something concrete is because there's a way concrete influences the fermentation of coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just a normal concrete, and the precautions is just to make sure, like, yeah, you don't touch the machine without any authorization. Yeah, from either the technician or someone, or who is handling the machine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Liz, thank you so much for just explaining to us what is going on here.
Thank
so
you.
I think we will go down. Liz will take us to the machine itself and show us exactly what happens, because from up here you might not really see everything that goes on, but we're just going to go down and we see the process that goes down. After the coffee cherries have gone through that that hole, so what are we trying to look at, especially when it comes to you can
Thank you.
can go, yeah, when it comes to now what goes on in this particular room?
So this is the pulping room, and this is the shaker machine I was talking about.
Okay.
You remember I explained about the hole where we have a hopper. So you see the hole there, which is connected to the shaker, and then the shaker uses electricity in the water. Electricity shakes the machine, and now water is to do the grading,
Okay.
to separate the bigger ones from the smaller ones. You notice like there was a mixture of
Yes, there was a
cherries
mixture
after
of
the
cherries,
upper.
yes.
Yeah, so there's a way the shaker will separate them. The green ones, the ones that are not well ripe, you know, of course, because the sorting is done by people, it's not perfect. And again, we have the black ones. Those are overripes, the ones that have gone beyond the ripening. So the machine knows how to sort it out, because they are light, it is shaken, they go through the chamber on this side, then the two pipes on that side, that is where now the bigger ones will go through. Yeah, so they go through there and they're well washed. So the shaker uses water, and then it's like shaking and thoroughly washing, because coffee is food.
Okay.
So now it is washed, separated, and then directed to this machine here. This is called a sieve, and the work of the sieve is to separate the skin from the parchment. Because once coffee goes through the chambers, they are squeezed. That is where we have the pulp machine. It's like a disc. It squeezes and separates the skin from the parchment. The parchment is just the inner seed. In coffee, once you remove the red skin. So it comes to the sieve now to do the separation of the skin and the parchment. The skin is collected down there to be taken back to the farm as fertilizer, but we also have some places where they do cascara coffee. Cascara coffee is coffee made using the coffee skin.
Okay.
Mostly it's a Spanish kind of coffee. And we have now the parchment. The parchment now it's taken to the water fermentation tanks down here. But now we have different kind of processing. We have the semi-washed, which we call honey coffee. So if it's honey coffee, it has to be now separated and then taken direct to the coffee beds, because it doesn't come in contact with water. Now the wash process is what commonly Kenyan coffee goes through, and coffee is fermented for around 12 to 72 hours, depending on the region. Here we do it for 12 hours. So fermentation is basically just the breaking down of the sugars and the mucilage in coffee. And then now, after the 12 hours, now to the washing.
Okay. Before we even go down there, this particular structure that we have, just a little bit about it, because it's interesting. I mean, this side, and then we have this. Is it an inlet or an outlet?
This is like an outlet to exhaust the skin.
The skin.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like a kichungi tu ya kawaida.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, like
Alright.
just to separate the skin and now the parchment.
All right.
Yeah.
So we're going to go down there outside and look at how this coffee that has undergone parchment, right? Parchment and the skin has been removed.
Yeah.
What happens on this particular end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So just follow us even as we look at this particular process. All right, so earlier on, we were looking at the pulping stage, and Liz explained to us about what usually happens after the pulping. So we are outside. We've come to an area where there's segmentations, and Liz, you can just give us a little bit about what is happening over here, because there's a lot of segmentations, and what usually happens here.
So these are fermentation tanks after separation of the skin, the cascara and the parchment. This is where now coffee comes to be fermented, and this is for washed process.
Okay.
You remember I told you like Kenyan coffee undergoes the washed process. Yeah.
All right. And in the fermentation tanks, how long do they stay in the fermentation tanks, and what usually goes into the process of fermentation?
Yeah, coffee fermentation can take around 12 to 72 hours. In Fairview Coffee, I say we do it for 12 hours because this is a single origin. And you just come in the morning, you check. And fermentation, by the way, it's just soaking the beans in water for 12
Yes.
hours for breaking down of the sugars and the mucilaginous coffee. You've tasted a coffee cherry?
Yes.
It's very sweet.
Ah.
So you break down those sugars. Yeah, that is what we call fermentation.
All right. So at this particular site, there is this side and there is the other side. So what segmentation is this? Because I can see the middle part is a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And this one is small.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is because you remember in the shaker there was a separation of the bigger and the small berries.
Yes.
And the ones that are underripes and overripes. So the separation, it's going to direct those cherries into different chambers. So when they go through the different chambers, they're channeled through different fermentation tanks. The small ones are for the small beans, and the big ones are for the big beans. And this is because good quality coffee is determined by two things, weight and the size. So we have to start grading them from the factory level. Yes.
And still on the bean and how it looks, the smaller ones, when they're on this particular side and the bigger ones on the other side, if you're picking the bigger ones, when the smaller ones are here, what usually happens to them, and how do you treat both? Because the bigger ones are the better ones now,
Yeah.
and then you have this smaller one. So what usually happens?
So the grading will just continue. We're going to take them through the processes. And of course, this is a business. Nothing goes to waste. The smaller ones, the junks, every damage in every stage of the processing, it's all blended together to end up as the lowest quality coffee and mostly used for the instant coffees. Yeah.
So the instant coffee are the smaller beans, right?
Not really the smaller, but it is now the damages and everything that is sorted away in the chain of the processing. Yes, whatever is sorted out, if it's small, maybe underripe, overripe, the brokerages, the damages, every junk, it's all blended together to end up as the lowest quality coffee.
All right.
Mostly used for the instant coffees.
All right, thank you so much, Liz. And
Yeah.
now, as Liz has explained to us, we're going to move down again and look at where this coffee that has been fermented, how it goes through another different process in order for us to get that good quality coffee. All right, so we are at another different stage. I believe it's one of the many stages that we are going to be looking at, but this is the washing part. So Liz, just give us a little bit about what is happening here, because you can see very long stretches and connecting from this side to this side.
Yeah, so this is the water grading area, and after coffee is fermented, there is a pump around there that pumps coffee direct to the water grading tanks. And in the water grading, a lot of water is introduced to the coffee beans, and then there is thorough washing because coffee was fermented. So it is washed, and then there is a process of floating and sinking of the coffee. That is what we call water grading. And this is where coffee is well determined in terms of density, weight. So the heaviest parchment sinks down and the lightest parchment floats up.
Okay.
So they're floating and sinking respectively depending on their weight. And then there's like in this place, like you'll see like a hood, something to separate them in terms of a grading. And then there's water now to collect them down there, and then they're taken to the coffee beds for drying.
All right. Before we even look at the coffee beds, so
Yeah.
this particular region, you've said washing is thorough.
Yeah.
So what goes into the washing, and how many times are the berries washed, and how long do they stay in this particular region? Maybe hours, or the number of times that this process takes place?
This one, it all depends on the quantity, because this is done straight after fermentation. Coffee is now introduced direct to the coffee water grading tanks for washing. So the duration will depend on the quantity we have, the volumes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And at any particular region, if or instance, if we have the kind of water, first of all, the kind of water that is used here,
Yeah.
how do you make sure that the water is clean? How do you make sure that there is no impurities that is going into? Because I believe this final washing is the one that is going now to determine how the clean the berry will be, or the bean. So the quality of water, give us a little bit about that.
It has to be clean water, not salty, because coffee is very sensitive. It's very sensitive to any flavor around it. Like to a point you cannot handle coffee with perfumes.
Okay.
Coffee is going to be tasting perfumes.
Okay.
Yeah, so it has to be clean water, and we always have like quality managers to check on the quality before the washing, and then after we wash, we recycle the water again. It can be used to the washing of the cherries, or maybe like irrigation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Liz, thank you so much for that. And now we're going to go to the beds, because when the coffee leaves this particular region, they take them to the beds. So let us go and look at what happens on the beds. All right, we are at the station where the coffee that has gone fermentation, washing, now from the washing it comes to this particular region. These are called coffee beds, and Liz, I can see some activities going on here. So what are we specifically doing here?
Now this is coffee drying, and coffee is dried a week up to 4, depending on the weather. And it's covered with plastic bags before we go home, or in case of bad weather. So what is happening here is now sorting, because when coffee is dried, there's always people to spread, because coffee is food again.
Yeah.
So you need like a hood just to be spreading the coffee, to make sure it has enough access of sun and it dries to the right moisture. And now the ladies you see here, they're sorting out the bad ones.
Oh,
the ones I told
okay.
you, every damage, every junk, in every stage of the processing is now processed to be the lowest quality coffee, mostly used for the instant coffee. So they're sorting away the damages, like for instance, you see like these
okay.
are breakages, and some that skipped a stage in the processing. Of course, it's a machine. So those machine errors are corrected by now sorting out. And these are now blended to be the pea lights, the parchment lights.
Okay.
Yeah.
And some of the precautions, especially when it comes to drying, what should farmers really look at? And what do you usually look at when it comes to what are the conditions under which coffee needs to be dried to be fully dry?
There's a machine of checking the moisture of coffee, but this is Kenya. Yeah, mostly it's used in Colombia, Brazil, in the bigger coffee producing countries. In Kenya, we do it manually. And as you see, the women here, these are people who were born, raised in a coffee farm. They have enough experience in coffee. I was also born in a coffee farm. My father is a coffee farmer, and coffee paid for my school fees, by the way.
Oh.
Coffee is what took me to school.
Yes.
So we know how to feel by just touching. There's a way you feel the crispiness, and then you tell like this coffee is dry.
Okay.
Yeah. We just come and then you remove the pulp and you check the bean inside. And it's going to tell you like this is dry. And
All right.
It's now ready for milling.
Okay. So how long does the coffee that is being sorted stay on this particular bed? And how do you make sure that the ones that are from this place, when they go now to wherever stage, the next stage they're going to go to, it's the good quality that you want?
We have, we just do the sorting, and when you're hunting coffee, it's just to make sure your hands are clean. We cannot wear gloves at this stage because you are handling a lot of coffee, and again, like the sorting needs a lot of carefulness. You need bare hands, but you make sure your hands are clean. But again, also the husk, these whites, outer skin is going to go out.
Yes.
Yeah, it's going to be milled, and it's going to become a waste. So you make sure you just sort it the best you can. But also there's a screening process which is done in the lab.
Okay.
And this is now coffee is separated in terms of sizing. Yeah, there's a screening machine where it's taken through, and then it's graded.
Okay. The drying of the coffee, how long does it take? Does it take a full day? Does it take 12 hours?
It takes a week up to 4. I said it takes 1 week up to 4 weeks.
So these ones have stayed here for how long?
This has been here for around a week. Sindio, Wamangi imekaa hapa how long? Kutoka tarehe 15.
Okay.
So it's around a week now, around 6 days.
Oh, around 6 days.
Yes.
Okay. Right, we've seen the whole process. We've seen what happens to this particular stage that we've reached. This is parchment. This is the parchment stage, and we're going to go to the lab after the break to just see what happens to this parchment and how the different processes that it goes through in order for us to get, at the end of the day, quality coffee. Don't go too far. We'll be back with more.
Kuwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa kulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya ni jukumu la Farm Kenya.
All right, welcome back. This is Farm Kenya Show right here on KTN. And remember, before the break, we were looking at the whole process of coffee. After it's harvested, the whole process, what it goes through. And we ended up with what? A parchment. And Liz, thank you so much for still sticking with us. And over here, we have different types of coffee bean. You're just going to be explaining to us what is going on here. Of course, the parchments and different colors. So what do we have here?
So this is the coffee lab. Welcome. In the coffee lab, we have different grades of coffee, and these are the grades of coffee. We just have the 4 premium grades. We have many grades of coffee, but these are the 4 premiums. We have the AA, the AB, PB, and C. Kenya is well known for AA.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have we come up with them through screening, and screening is done in a machine with trays of all of different diameters. The work of the machine is to shake the beans and every bean will be falling respectively depending on their sizes. We have AA with 18 millimeter diameter,
Okay.
AB with 16 millimeter diameter, PB with 14 millimeter diameter, and C with 12. So this one falls on the screen 18, 16, 14, 12.
Okay, so before we even move, now the different types of grading, what does this help in, and what does this determine at the end of the day when you come, when you just look at this, the ones that you've already mentioned?
As I said earlier, good quality coffee is determined by two things: weight and the size. So coffee goes through the water analysis, which is in the factory, where I was explaining about the washing, and now there's the size analysis and the cup analysis. Those are the three stages of quality check in coffee. And so in the screening, for instance, you just check the coffee in sizing to determine the grading, the grade of coffee, because the grades of coffee are going to fetch different money in the market, and this is how coffee is going to be in the market, because coffee is traded when it's green and coffee is roasted when it's green. Again, the size and the weight will come in the roasting. If the size is very small or the coffee is very light, it tends to burn out. And what happens when it burns out? It's going to contribute into a smoky cup of coffee, and the roasting is going to be uneven again. So it's going to be inconsistent in terms of the cup and also the roasting process.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for that. Very insightful. So when we look at this other line that we have here, what is going on here, in this line?
This line, we started from the parchment. We saw the parchment at the
Yes, this
coffee
is
beds.
the parchment.
Yes, and the parchment undergoes through the milling process now to come up with the green coffee.
Okay.
Because they're taken through the milling to remove this outer husk. You look closely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me take one also here.
Just take one, and you can notice there's a silver skin. There's an outer skin.
Oh, yes.
So it's well polished. The husk is removed, and the bean is polished. Now to remain with the green coffee, which is now screened.
Okay.
We have now
remove
the green coffee, that line.
Okay.
It's what is taken through roasting. We roast coffee when it's green, and coffee is exported when it's green. On this other end, this is from the junks, from in every stage of the processing. The one for instant coffee, this is the final one now.
Okay.
This is how it's going to be looking. It's a blend, a mixture of everything.
So might I ask, before you even continue explaining, is this what is picked from the bed? What we were picking?
Yes, yes.
The ones that are maybe uneven. The
Yeah.
ones that okay.
Yeah, the deformities, the ones we were sorting out.
Yes.
With the at the coffee beds. Yes.
Okay. So what does this one is used to make instant coffee, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All
Yeah.
right.
And then you see a whole berry. This is the cherry. Berry is when it's green. When it's ripe, it becomes a cherry now. And now the cherry is what is taken through the pulping. So this is to
Let me
remove
also remove mine.
the skin. It's very slimy, so it can
Yes.
slide. So this is how it is. You remove, and then you see it is, oops, just slided. Many times coffee cherry has 2 beans or 3 beans inside.
Okay, mine
And-
has 2.
Yes, mine
Seen two.
mine are 3.
Ah,
There
okay.
are 3, and this is the cascara now, the skin.
Okay.
Where's your cascara?
Yeah.
Yes. So now, many times coffee cherry has 2 beans or 3 beans inside. But we have a unique berry called a pea berry. A pea berry is just one round bean. It's like a rugby ball. This is it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why we have
the
a pea
PB.
berry. Yes, it's PB.
Okay.
It's one of the premium grades of coffee. And the pea berry, it's just one round bean. It's unique because it's just one. It's just a genetical thing. Yeah. So this is the PB. And now we have the rest. But now they are graded and in terms of sizing, as I said. And now the other line we see, these are the roasting profiles. We have 3 main roasting profiles. We have light, medium, and dark roast.
Okay.
And by the way, before we go ahead, I don't know if you know, coffee cherry is very sweet.
Yes, I ate one before we even started, so it's really nice. It's really nice. It's very sweet.
Yes.
So what determines the sweetness of the cherry, and what does this show? Like, could it be that the more sweeter the cherry is, the more better the coffee bean will be, or what goes into that? Like, why the sweetness?
It's just a normal fruit.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, every coffee cherry is sweet. It has the sugars, it has the sliminess, and there's no way the sweetness affects the taste, because the characteristics of coffee, they're organic, they're in there, and they're going to be all exposed at the roasting. Let's say, for instance, if coffee is more fruity, it's all contributed at the farm level. This is by the attributes, the farm operations, the soils, the flowering, the fruits, or the plants that are growing around the trees. Basically, the farm operations. So that is where it's contributed, but it's all going to be exposed at the roasting.
Okay.
So even Robusta, Robusta is very ash in cup and bitter.
Yes.
It's also very high in caffeine. Even when you pick a Robusta cherry, you'll find it's sweet.
It's sweet.
Yes.
Okay, so the roasting is the one that determines the taste at the end of the day.
Yes.
Okay, so let's look at this line still. You have different colors. There's the dark one, the medium one, the light one, the way you explained. So what goes into this type of roasting, and what does this mean for the coffee bean at the end of the day?
So the roasting profiles are mostly dictated by the personal preference, because coffee is all about personal preference. It's like a soda. You'll take it maybe passion, I'll do it maybe orange. So that is why we have light, medium, and dark roast. So the light roast, it's known to be a bit mild and underdeveloped in flavors. The medium roast is a bit round, balanced, with flavors and acidity in the body. The dark roast is known to be very high in, it's very intense in flavors. It has dark chocolate flavors, and also the dark roast is known to be very harsh and very full in body. Yeah.
Okay, so when it comes to the roasting process, I believe that there's something that usually goes into roasting it to be very dark, and medium and light. So when it comes to how you're treating the bean after the roasting, how do you store it? How do you make sure that it maintains the taste? Because I believe there are certain different types of environments that maybe, or after the coffee has been roasted, they're not supposed to be put in, because I can see they're in glass jars. So what would you recommend when it comes to storage of the bean after you've roasted?
Thank you for that question. Good quality coffee, it's well maintained, and how like finally you have to store it. And number one enemy of coffee is oxygen. It kills aroma in coffee. Make sure you don't expose your roasted coffee. Coffee is stored in an airtight container, and it's supposed to have a breathing valve if it's going to be maybe like stay longer, because coffee normally has CO2. So it needs a valve where it can breathe away gases. That's why it's not advisable to drink coffee immediately after roasting. You have to give it around 10 hours to degas.
Okay.
And then now your coffee is ready for consumption. For instance, if you look at our packaging, I don't know if I take one packet to show you the valve.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is there's this packet, and to notice there's a valve here. Just smell through the valve.
Oh, so the valve is the one that gives you the... okay.
Yeah.
So what's the reason for this?
It is now to breathe away gases. Yeah, this is to make sure now that excess CO2 inside the coffee is exhausted out.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And for example, so you've roasted your bean, you have stored it.
Yep.
Is it advisable for someone, to put it maybe the type of environment for storage? After you've put it on the glass, you can store it anywhere, or is there advice on that?
It's supposed to be a cool, dry place.
Okay.
Yes, not close to lights, water, coffee is very sensitive to any flavor around it. Don't put coffee close to things that have maybe they have strong smells like perfumes, onions. It's going to absorb all that, and you're going to be drinking coffee with saumu, with garlic,
Okay.
or spices.
All right.
Yeah.
So, for example, when it comes now, let's look at a different perspective of
Yep.
now the businessy part of it.
Yeah.
Looking at the market,
Yeah.
the requirements in the market.
Yeah.
How does Kenyan coffee perform, especially when it comes to the market, when you compare it with other different crops that are within the same category, like tea and the others? From your experience doing this, how is the market of coffee, especially when it comes to looking at the different types of beans that are produced?
Kenyan coffee is reputable. It is one of the best coffees like we have in the world. Everyone who comes to Kenya thinks about coffee. And that is also the idea behind coffee tourism, what we do in Fairview Coffee Estate. And this is something like we are doing, and we wish every Kenyan farmer can do to do value addition, because you know coffee farmers, they don't make good money out of coffee. And this is just something we're doing to do value addition, to give jobs to people, and it is something we wish also the government will implement to the coffee industry. And this is something we're doing, like I think around 60 years after independence. We're just trying to do like what every other farmer is supposed to implement. And Kenyan coffee mostly grows on very high elevation. You know, around 80% of coffee farmers in Kenya, they come from out Kenya. And other origins, you still have some coffee in the eastern side of Kenya. In some parts of Kisii, we have coffee. And the whole growing in highlands, it means those coffees, they get to have very good flavors. They're very rich. They have floral taste. Like this, that is the coffee everyone is looking for in the world. And Kenyan coffee having this is something like why you've seen like all these tourists coming to Fairview to do what is all about this coffee. And about the coffee market, it's very coffee market, it's not that easy, because it's all controlled by the demand and supply in the global market. For instance, coffee market in Kenya, it's doing well because Brazilian coffee and Vietnam coffee it experienced a drought last year. So for around the next 2-3 years, we are expecting good prices. And even currently, I think coffee farmers are experiencing good prices they've not experienced in the last 20 years, because the Brazilian coffee freeze, it experienced a drought, So the paperwork of coffee is very expensive, you know, the licensing and everything. And because in Kenya there's no local consumption, that's why we want Kenyans to drink coffee.
Okay.
Yeah, because if we do drinking coffee and there's a local consumption, it's going to break all the middlemen. Yeah, from here to take coffee to maybe Europe, because Europe is the biggest market for Kenyan coffee. And the chain from the farmer to cooperatives to the consumer, it's always big. And that chain also like it needs money and resources, which can be maybe sometimes it's expensive for coffee farmers. And that is why we are trying to implement the idea here in Fairview, where you can come, you do the tours, you leave with a packet of coffee. We have you maybe in Nyakundi, you come, you've experienced, you take a packet with you, and when you have visitors in your house or you need coffee, you're just going to be drinking, because the idea is to sell the production of entire Fairview. We harvest 80 to 88 tons a year. So our idea is to sell everything at the farm level. Yeah.
Okay. So before we get, of course, we look at the different types of roast, the light, medium, and dark. You'll tell us which one usually goes out more when it comes to this, because I believe there is a preference when it comes to
Yep.
coffee that is being sold. But also, let us look at organizations in Kenya that are in the coffee business, and some of the challenges that usually encounter with farmers,
Yeah.
and trying to connect these farmers to the market that is available, and what goes into making sure that this farmer who's growing the coffee, at the end of the day, they get the returns that are supposed to be coming back. Because as you've mentioned earlier, we have middlemen who are always there. They're always the ones that connect farmers to different cooperatives, connect farmers to different, not even cooperatives, different markets.
Yeah.
So when it comes to that, how have you been able, as a person in the coffee business, to make sure that at least your coffee gets to the market in the right way, or if you are exporting it, it's taken to the right market?
Thank you, Fairview Coffee Estate. We are licensed to sell coffee through the direct sales. That is, the benefit we have, because we don't need the middleman to sell our coffee. We already have the paperwork to sell coffee to Europe, to Germany, to people like Chibo, Starbucks, Louis Baja. So we are licensed to sell coffee through direct sales. And we are also fair trade certified. If you look at the packaging at the back, you'll see we are Rainforest Alliance certified. And we don't have to go through the cooperatives and all of the chains.
Okay.
I think the only challenge we have, climate change, and sometimes also market prices, because they keep on going up and down. You cannot predict what is going to happen. Maybe next year. That is the biggest challenge that we have.
All right, Liz, now we finished the talking. I believe someone is looking behind here and wondering, okay, so what do we have here? So you can just give us a little bit of a perspective of what is going on behind us. And I think we should start from that side.
Okay, the roaster where the coffee is cooked to be
where
this
the
color.
coffee is cooked to be this different colors. We can look at it and then we move on.
Oh, this is our roaster. It's called as guarantee machine, meaning has been guaranteed in Turkey.
Okay.
It's a Turkish machine.
That, yes.
It's a Turkish machine. It uses electricity and the gas. The work of the gas is to heat up the drum, and the electricity is to rotate the drum.
Okay.
It takes 2 kilos of coffee, but it's a very fast machine. It can roast up to 150 kilos within the 8 working hours. This is the timer. In 5 to 6 minutes, your light roast is supposed to be ready. 7 to 8 minutes, your medium roast is going to be ready, and 9 to 10 minutes, your dark roast is going to be ready. Now, this is the bean temperature. And then there's the airflow. The airflow is what controls the air getting in and out of the drum. And this is also what controls the smokiness, the excess smokiness in coffee.
So we place the beans here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then this is where it's roasted, and this is the drum. Yes. And now you can check, through the scooping spoon. This is the scooping spoon. You just scoop and check the bean color. Again, you check through the mirror. This is the mirror. Again, you can listen to cracks. And the cracks I'm talking about, it's like the pop sounds of popcorns. During the first crack, your light roast is going to be ready. The second crack, your medium roast is going to be ready. And the third crack, your dark roast is going to be ready. I love the cracks. We are women, we do 10 things. They are very loud enough, you can hear them when you're doing some other stuff, and then you just come and check, scoop, and confirm the bean color.
Okay.
And then once it's all ready, you switch on the cooler fan and the mixer. This is the cooling drum. This is a mixer and a cooling fan.
So it mixes the bean
from
here?
And does the cooling. Okay. Yes. So coffee comes out when it's hot. If you don't cool it down, it continues cooking.
Okay, so basically, these are the beans from this particular machine. So what is happening at this particular stage?
So this is cooling. After roasting, when our coffee is ready, it's now let out through this chamber to the cooling drum and the mixer. So once it cools down, it takes around 2 to 3 minutes to cool down. And the reason we have to cool down is coffee is cooking inside. It comes out hot.
Yes.
If you don't cool it down, it continues cooking, and you're going to end up having like a coffee that you didn't expect. So it cools down for around 2 to 3 minutes, and then you collect it down there with the bucket.
Okay.
So this is how you do the collection. Then this is ready now for grinding. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that is ready.
Okay. So
Then-
this is what has come out of this particular machine. It has been cooled, and it's actually cold. It's actually cold. Yes, it's actually cold. So you can see this is dark roast, and this is what we decided to go with. So I can move this side, and then
Yes.
you tell me what to do with this.
You put them there.
Okay. Basically, you're going
Just put everything.
Ah,
Yeah.
nice.
So this is the grinder. So this is the grinder. Now the grinder just grinds the machine. You open here.
Can you push it down? Can you push it down to
Yes.
just look at?
So this is
is
how you
happening.
open.
Wow, and the smell.
Wow, the aroma.
Yeah.
So this is and coffee is grinder depending on the machine you're using to brew your coffee. Yeah, mostly espresso machines, they go for very fine grounds like baby powder. For medium-based machine, they do for medium grinds. Let me just touch. This is for demo.
Okay.
So this is medium grind for
Ah,
easier
this is
extraction.
medium grind.
Yes.
So what
Yes.
does fine grind look like?
Like
if this
baby
is medium?
powder.
Like baby powder.
Yes, that is for espresso machine because you know espresso machine works under pressure.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's extraction.
So this is medium grind.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So from here, what happens?
Now from here, now it's packaging. Yeah, we have a sealer back there. You just put it in the packaging and then you seal.
Okay. So you've heard it from Liz. This is medium roast. We're going to grind rather. This is a medium grind, and they're pretty fine but not very fine. We're just now going to be looking at how the packaging goes and what goes into the packaging. So follow us even as we go to that. All right, we are at the end of this particular process. We had remember where we started from. So we're at the packaging area, and Liz is going to show us how to package these particular bins, and so that at least they are sealed and packaged up for transport. So take it away.
Yeah, welcome. So now we are packaging our dark roast, the one that we roasted together.
I remember.
And now this is how we package. Then after packaging, just take it to the sealing. This is the sealer. And you just position it very well.
So you have to turn from
Yeah.
on each
You have to
other
double
side.
seal it because we do deliveries. So sometimes it can overlap itself in the transit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Or maybe when you buy it, you just need to.
Okay. All right. So we have this particular package that has just been sealed, and it's from the coffee that we had roasted earlier, if you remember. So this is going to go into the box for transport, right?
Now it's ready for sale. Either it goes to the shop.
Okay.
Yes, or maybe when we have an order, it's delivered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, Liz, thank you so much for engaging with us today and giving us your insights when it comes to coffee, how it's sourced, and the parchments that you just explained to us what usually happens to them.
Yeah.
Right, we've come to the end of this edition of Farm Kenya, but Liz, before we go, after giving us all these insights, just giving us your perspective and educating us on what we need to do, you can just give us your social media platforms where people can find you, where people can get this particular package that we have here, so that at least we can get to wrap up the show.
Oh, thank you for this platform, and thank you for choosing us. Our social media pages, I think we're in every social media page. We're in TikTok, we're in Instagram, we're in Facebook. It's Fairview Estate Limited. And we have a website. It's www.fairviewestate.co.ke. for bookings for coffee tours. We offer coffee tours on a daily basis. We have a morning session at 10 to 12 and 2 to 4 for the afternoon coffee tour. And we have now also, like, for any booking, just go through the website. There's the number, the office number already in the website. You just call it, and there's always someone to assist.
All right, Liz, thank you so much for today.
Yeah.
And I believe you've learned something today. Remember all the processes that we have looked at today and the nitty-gritties when it comes to coffee processing. My name is Kelvin Nyakundi from us. It's a goodbye. Remember, next week we're going to look at the next process that is coming, so stick around for that.
Kuwa mkono ambao unalima ardhi, mlango wa mkulima, kuwa mshindi, kuwa na uhakika sasa, kukulea mustakabali wa baadaye. Tufanye kazi pamoja na tukue pamoja, kuimarisha Kenya.